Hello and welcome to an all new episode of Stop Faking It with me, your host, Emily Bracey. Happy May, everyone. May is absolutely my favorite month. It always has been. Not only because it's my birthday month, it was also my grandma's birthday month. So that was a little extra special. Everything just starts getting a little brighter. Up in New York State, where I was raised, school ends in June. So you knew the end of that was coming and summer was coming. And as of 3 years ago, May is also mine and my husband's anniversary month. So super excited. Hope it's getting sunnier out wherever you are. As my listeners know, I dabble in quite a few things. For example, I own a clothing line, but I also love doing stand up and making jokes about dicks on the internet, and I, someone who I love talking about the concept of being multi passionate with is Hallee Smith. Hallee is an internet personality, a content creator, an artist who also blew up on TikTok in around 2020 and on YouTube Shorts. She has since shared pieces of her life on the internet through vlogs, and she does these really cool challenges where she gets out of her comfort zone, tries new things. Hallee is also the owner of Hallee Media and Design. Oh, and she's my friend too. Welcome, Hallee, to the podcast.
Thank you. That was an amazing intro and covered
Aw.
all the things. So thank you so much.
I always like to hype everyone up because, like, who doesn't like to hear it? And then I feel like it also kind of exhausts my guests. They're like, wow, I do a lot,
Yeah,
which
I'm like,
is
wait, I do all of that? Are you serious?
like, no wonder I am tired.
But you prefaced it with all the things you do too, so it made me
Yeah.
feel a lot better.
Yeah, we all go through it together. I mean, that's how we met was through content creation. And like last week or 2 weeks ago, I had Colin on my podcast, and we all have our content creator group down here. And I was like, what's better than just interviewing my friends who I talk to all the time about this stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Content all together.
yeah, how you doing, girl?
I'm good. It's been a busy week and weekend, lots of networking and talking, but it's been great, good things. I'm feeling some momentum in
Good.
life. So, yeah, thank you
Awesome.
for
Well,
feeling good right now.
yeah, that's good to hear. Okay, so before we get started and I start, picking your brain, asking you questions, something I have brought up now, this will be the fifth time I think bringing it up on my podcast since I started, that I have this thing. I don't know if it's like an aura I exude. I don't know if it's a pheromone, but magicians find me.
They find you.
They find me. And it happened again yesterday. Now, I saw you yesterday. We went and got coffee. After that, I got lunch with our friend Sam. And like I said, I brought this up. One time it was on airport at like 8 a.m. There was another time, there were two other times that I can't remember. My mom and I were trying to figure out what they were, but they were last summer and then, or 2 summers. No, yeah, yeah. This also is like within a year. But then this time last year, I was with Roger in Atlanta, and a magician came up to me and started doing tricks. And I looked at Roger and I was like, I told you this keeps happening to me.
You
So
attract magicians.
I attract magicians. So it happened yesterday. I kid you not. We were at Neon Lunchbox. It's a new place, I think, in St. Pete. It was really good. So anyway, we were talking to the owner, and I don't know, we got talking about comedy and stuff. And he was like, oh, I used to do stand-up comedy. And I was like, oh, I just started getting super serious about it. And he was like, yeah, and I was a magician. And I thought, of course you
Of
fucking
course.
are. Of course. Like it's been a few months. Like one of them has to find me. This guy. So he looks at Sam and he was like, pick a number between 1 and 10. And she said 9. And he looks at me and says, pick a number between 1 and 10. And I said 2. He looks at Sam and he says, add or subtract. And she's like, subtract. So he's like, okay, what's 9 minus 2? She said 7. And he said, okay, in a deck of cards, pick 2 suits. And she said, diamonds and hearts. And then he looks at me and he goes, pick diamonds or hearts. And I said hearts. And he goes, okay, so we picked 7 in hearts, right? And he wrote it down. And this was like right after too, he like cashed out our cards and stuff. So, and he
Mhm.
knew our names, we introduced ourselves. He says to me, go over on the bar right there. You see that piece of white paper on the other side? And I was like, yeah. He's like, go pick it up. And of course, me being me, I'm like, I'm not gonna do what a man tells me to do. And he's like, just go pick up the fucking paper. No, he was really nice. He was real cool. I go and pick up this paper. It says Emily Bracey, 7 hearts.
Wait, so the paper was just sitting on the other side of the bar?
Yeah. The whole time. Like we weren't even sitting at the bar though. We were at the tables. Like
What?
I
Pick
didn't
a
even
win on it? Like, did he have a runner? Like,
no, I was so But like I was confused and I wasn't because I was like, I think the first thing I said after I picked up the paper and I went over to Sam and I was like, oh, and I said, why does this keep happening to me? And he was like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, I don't know. I attract magicians. So I've brought up almost every magician that I've had an encounter with on this podcast. So I thought I should just keep it going, like just to
Yeah.
document this near insanity.
Wait, I
But
didn't tell you that I'm also a magician.
could you imagine?
I'm
Like
not.
you
That's
like
one thing I'm not. My brother did magic for a little bit.
that could be your next challenge when we get into your challenges.
Wait, it actually could be. And
That'd be
it's funny
cool.
you say that because magicians, I was listening to a podcast recently
Uh-huh.
about where a magician or a mentalist was being interviewed. And it was very fascinating. So maybe
It's really
that
cool how they do it.
is,
Could you
yeah.
imagine all of a sudden you like open your hand and a dove flies out?
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for some reason I think it was 2 times in Atlanta I've ran into magicians. So I'm going to Atlanta next weekend. So maybe it'll happen.
Ready for it.
You
Yeah.
know, there's something like that. But if you would want to introduce yourself a little more, I know I gave you a little intro there, but maybe more about how you got started into content creation and, all that jazz.
Yeah, of course. So I have always had a passion for making videos. Like when I was in middle school, I think, and even maybe before that, we had MacBook laptops at our high school. And I would use the camcorder on the laptop to make movies. And like I would get all the people, all my friends in the neighborhood, we would just like make little like movies. One of them that comes to mind was called Corn Stalkers. Great film. Great
I
film.
love it.
So I've just always had a passion for that type of stuff, but I kind of got away from it
Mhm.
with school and the real world. And I went to college for marketing and graphic design. And I would just make videos as a hobby. Like every time I'd travel, I would film stuff. I would be making everyone make videos with the GoPro and I'd film things. But I never thought of it as like possible to be my career. I don't know
Mhm.
why. Like
Yeah.
maybe because the world tells you you can't make a lot of money off of, creative practices or what. But so when I graduated college, I went viral a couple times on accident and I was like, interesting, but I didn't really do anything about it. And then later that summer, shortly after I'd started my business, which you introduced, Hallee Media and Design, I was collaborating with this other creator and these videos started going crazy viral. He essentially casted me into the role as Siri in his
Mhm.
videos that he was directing. And so I was like, huh, this is crazy. So I started bringing the character onto my page. I duetted one of the videos and I got 30,000 followers overnight. And that's when I was
That's
like,
insane.
wow. Like, and then
Yeah.
that was, I was never, like some people grew up on YouTube,
Yeah.
like watching YouTube. I was never really like that. I had like a couple YouTubers that I watched, but other than that, like I didn't know the ins and outs of YouTube. So I didn't know how to handle that. And
Yeah.
so then yeah, over 6 months I grew to 1 million followers and
Wow.
it was a crazy time.
Mhm.
But ultimately I played the Siri character and then I started a second series that took off where I went to Starbucks to see how many times it took them to spell my name right. Which people still that 4 years ago, and people, that is like what people think of me as.
That's so funny. Her name is spelled
Crazy.
Hallee, and it's Hallie. We should get
Yes.
Colin to do that too, because his name is spelled different.
You know what? Me and Colin talked about doing a collab
Yeah.
like over a year ago, and I wrote a script for it, and then we both got
You should
super
do
busy,
it.
never did it. So I'm gonna have to dig that up, and we're gonna have to do it.
You should. Also, it's so funny when you started talking about doing making videos and stuff when you were younger. Let me 1 second.
Yeah,
1 second, folks. We gotta pull out an artifact.
referencing an artifact.
You mean these old laptops?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes,
So I know
you
like
have that.
my hometown friends listening, like they're gonna and my parents, like they're gonna die hearing this because like I was the friend, like I didn't bring my camera around. I brought my laptop everywhere.
You're
I'll
like,
have
hey guys, look.
Kelly, I'm gonna send you this link after. No one else I'm gonna send it to. Maybe I should. I don't know. My friends and I would like make intense like music videos, and I would make
Yes.
yeah, but with the laptop, we'd set it up like on our cars and stuff. But
Yes.
yes, it's so heavy now that I'm feeling it.
Oh
Like,
my gosh. Yeah. I sadly do not have enough of those
yeah,
videos
yeah.
saved. Like, I'm like, if only I could find all of those. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember too, like when my friends and I would go away for college and stuff, I I would make like movie trailers. I have to send you these. They're so ridiculous. But
You're like
that's
looking out a window, like dramatically.
it's so funny though, because there really is like I think early, like we were even talking about yesterday how early it's like you were talking to me about clothes and you're like, it's really cool. Like early on, you knew what you wanted to do, but you did know what you wanted to do. Like
That's true. Oh
it
my
was
gosh, you're
in
so right. Yeah.
you.
No, I said that. So yeah, and
Yeah.
I said that to Emily yesterday when we were getting coffee. I said that to you yesterday. And you're so right. I just didn't trust. I think maybe I didn't trust
But
myself.
it
Didn't trust.
also like it goes back to like you said that it's just not like a career path. And I remember so my parents
Yeah.
always joke and they say um that the worst thing they ever did was tell their kids to just be whatever they wanted to be. And luckily I got out of my I want to be a butterfly phase. But we all picked like something in the arts. And so one of my brothers
Yeah.
is in like television and film, the other one's in music. And then I obviously do what I do.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it I don't know, like it's hard to think that way sometimes because you in like movies and TV shows, I feel like people joke like, oh, the person with the arts degree, they don't make money or that's not a real job and this and that. But I
Yeah.
remember one time when my older brother moved out to LA and my mom was just like, I'm like, that's crazy. Like he's just moving to LA, like raw dogging it, like trying to figure it out. Like, and she's like, well, she's like, I watch movies and TV shows and like people's names are in the credits after. And I think like that's someone's son's name. So like why can't that be my son's name?
Yeah.
And now it's like the cutest thing ever. Like they
So cute.
literally watch the things he works on just to like see the credits. I mean, I do too
Aw.
also.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's
and
a,
I think even like I don't know, I had a lot of experiences in like middle school and even in high school a little where I brought up like wanting to be a fashion designer or a comedian and it was just like immediately shut down. Like that's not real.
yeah. The first thing I remember in kindergarten, maybe it was first grade.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I remember saying I wanted to be an artist
Yeah.
because art was my favorite class. Duh. I want to do the thing that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And it was, met with, well, you want to do something more ambitious than that now, don't you?
Art's pretty freaking ambitious if you ask me.
Right? It's
Like,
bold.
yeah.
Bold. Bold is what it is.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Let's go back and talk about some of the other series that you made, like other ones that
Yeah.
stick out. I know because yeah, you said you did the name one, and then were you doing like a color one for a while?
Yes. So the color shopping challenge, that's actually one I don't talk about that much.
Uh-huh.
Let's get into it because I do remember my thought process behind it was kind of interesting and it, on the surface seems pretty like, oh cool, color
Yeah.
shopping challenge. Um, so I don't remember the very first video I did, but I'm someone who actually doesn't go shopping enough.
Hmm.
Like I'm like I have to like go shopping with someone or I have to be like, "Mom, let's go shopping." Like I'm never someone to just like go shopping, but I
Yeah.
always need I'm like I need new clothes.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I turn my content into shopping?
Hmm.
And then I was like, my audience loves bright colors. I'm kind of doing these, I kept the video format essentially of the Starbucks videos, but I went shopping and the
Hmm.
challenge was I could only buy one color.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, that's how that one started. I did it just, I'm pretty sure with every color in the rainbow.
That's so fun.
This week I need something yellow, so let's go do it. This
Yeah.
month it seems to be lacking blue in my closet. Let's do a blue shopping challenge. And it actually forced me to get creative with my wardrobe and made my wardrobe more colorful.
And in a sense, that's kind of almost just like a personal challenge too. Like I feel like looking back, you're like, wait, that actually like I got something more out of that than just like, making
Yeah.
videos. That's cool.
Yeah. And from like a critical standpoint, like I wish I had allowed myself to build that into the story
Hmm.
because I was trying so hard to just play this character that my audience loved and like be, you know, I don't know, higher energy version of
Yeah.
myself, that I missed that piece. And
Mhm.
everybody, like, what was reflected back to me is like, oh, Hallee is someone who loves shopping and goes shopping all the time, is obsessed with
But
shopping. And
no.
that's so inaccurate. That's actually the opposite of the whole challenge. So I don't know. I always like to look at things in hindsight's 2020, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. It's like, don't be afraid to share that part of yourself that feels more vulnerable maybe at the time.
Yeah. That's so funny too, what you just said about like, oh, everyone thought like Hallie was this really like energetic person and that I
Yeah.
was so like last night I did an open mic and not to like toot my own horn, but it was definitely the best one I did. And like I've always been comfortable being on stage. And I was talking to Roger about it after. And like some of the first like Tampa open mic nights I did, I found myself like up there with like this fake energy. Like it like
Mhm.
cheerleader energy. I am not cheerleader energy. I am whiny, monotone, self-deprecation. Like, and I did that last night. And I've been like, I've been doing that now for a few months. And I'm like, this is me. But it's kind of like it goes into what you've been talking a lot about social media lately where it's like like posting with a purpose and being authentic, and I think like we don't have a lot of that on the internet as much, and I feel like when I see, like I find those people and like even you, it's just like you're almost now more drawn to that person because it's not like, oh, this isn't just like another run of the mill, like I don't know,
Yes.
influencer or something, which I mean,
Yeah.
if that's the blogging like and stuff you want to do, definitely do it. But for me, I just, it's like what you said, like you don't feel like, oh, I'm not being myself. So it's like weird.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting is you'd think that being yourself is the easy option.
Hmm.
But in reality, it's actually hard and it actually
Yeah.
takes more practice to show up authentically as yourself. So, one of the many things I've done is try singing. This is one of my comfort zone challenges.
Yeah. I
And
want to talk about your comfort zone challenges.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we'll talk more about that. But recently I've been going to a lot of singing open mics. You do
Hmm.
the comedy ones. I've been
Yeah.
going to the singing ones. And in the same way you described, I had to it was just it's been such a process of going up there and like breaking past first the barrier of being so nervous that I just
Yeah.
freeze up.
Yeah.
And then the next step I've noticed is, okay, now I'm not as nervous that I freeze up, but I'm looking kind of blah on stage. Like I don't look that excited to be there, but I'm calm at least. So
Yeah.
then how do I now integrate that real energy? Not the, like you
Yeah.
said, cheerleader energy, the nervous energy of like, I'm just going to be someone up here to just get it over with and overcome the nerves, but like to actually bring your true emotions and self to that stage vulnerably. It's
Hmm.
like a crazy hard thing to do. And you
Yeah.
don't think about it like that.
No, and it's like you only have like those times to, I guess, this like to practice. And
Yes.
so,
Like
like,
once a week. Come on. Can I get one every day?
yeah, it's really, it's so if like, I don't know, like if I would start off on a weird note, I'm like, damn it. Like
I blew my
I
once a
can't
month
start
chance.
over. But
Yeah.
yeah. So how did you decide you wanted to start these challenges to get out of your comfort zone?
Yeah. So when I'll start by talking about when I first started documenting the process of them.
Hmm.
Um, so I was doing all these, we were talking about kind of almost like persona type content where I felt like
Hmm.
I was playing a character. I maybe didn't feel like I was showing up fully authentically, but it was resonating with people, it was going viral. So then by the end of 2022, it was like December 2022, I was so burnt out. I hated posting content. And I was
It's
like,
exhausting.
yeah, and I started to hate it. But
Yeah.
I had no desire to ever post that type of video again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, on one hand, I don't want to abandon my audience, but on the other hand, I cannot make this up. Like I didn't know what to make because I'm like I genuinely don't know what to make. Like
Yeah.
I'm asking people, what do you people want from me? And they're like, I don't know. You make something. You're the creator. And I'm like, I don't know what to make because I don't know what's going on here. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I hit this point of burnout where I'm like, I have to take a step back. So I took a month off that December over Christmas. And I missed out on a lot of brand deals because, as you know, as a creator, that's when you get like I had to make a
Yeah.
sacrifice. Like my I
Black
think I had
Friday.
Yeah, I had an agent at the time, or multiple people told me like, Hallie, that's a bad idea. That's when your whole income is. You should like wait and take a break in January. I'm like, I can't. I have to
Yeah.
do it now. So I took that break, and over that month, I started to have the idea for these comfort zone challenges.
Hmm.
I really was thinking, oh, I want to get back into dancing because I danced when I was growing up. And so
Hmm.
I was like, what would life be like if I were a professional dancer? Could I be one?
Yeah.
What does it take? Could I jump back in? Could I pick it up? So I started asking myself these questions. And so I reached out to one of the teachers in the local area that I took classes from, and I was like, hey, like I have this idea, try to train like a professional dancer for 30 days, blah, blah, blah. So we made the video, and it was so much fun. It was so fulfilling. It was such a cool experience. I trained with her for 30 days as well as my mom, because my mom was a dancer. She gave me like a
Hmm.
workout plan. And so then that was the first video of the series. And I was like, that was so cool. What's next? I want to do something else.
Yeah.
So I did a Spartan race. I trained for it in 30 days. And then I tried jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That was crazy. I've
That
always
is
wanted to
so
try
cool.
martial art. And then I did
Hmm.
improv comedy. And then did I do one? No, then I did singing. So the thing with these videos is they took me a long time to
Yeah.
make because I had to actually have an experience before I had a video.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned a lot in that year with the comfort zone challenges, and what I alluded to at the beginning, as I reflect, this wasn't the first time I've done this.
Hmm.
When I was in college, my senior year, I decided to join a public speaking competition. Even though I was shy,
Yeah.
terrified to speak in front of people, let alone it being an impromptu one. So you have
Yeah.
30 minutes to prepare. You
Do
give
you
your
remember
top.
your top? Do you remember your topic?
Yeah, it was, what is your personal mission statement?
Oh, that's
And
crazy how
I was,
it kind of
yeah,
ties in.
yes, it was so on brand because I was like so afraid I was gonna get some dumb topic I didn't care about. And I showed up there
Yeah.
like, what is your personal mission statement? I was like, oh, unlock, I got this.
That's
I
awesome.
ended up winning it. And so then I had this realization of like, what's possible? Like I used
Yeah.
to tell myself I could never do that. Like
Hmm.
that was a belief in my head. I could never do a speaking competition. And then I did it and I won it. And so then I was like, what else is possible? So that was the first time I ever did that type of thing. And then essentially with content, it was a comfort zone challenge for me because I was shy to get on camera.
Yeah.
And I was shy I tried modeling a little bit too without, documenting it. And I
Hmm.
was shy to get in front of a camera. So it was just, I realized it's been something I've been doing for years now,
That's
but
awesome.
I don't know, I just started documenting it and they ended up being cool videos, but I had to kind of trust myself in the process because they didn't perform as well
Yeah.
as, like I went
Yeah.
millions of views to like thousand views.
Girl, preaching to the choir. But no, and I mean, and that's what I think was so cool, even just about obviously wanting to talk to you about this, or even just talking to you in person about this. Um, because I mean, it hit me a while ago when I was like, I am like retired, ho gives no fucks now. And this,
Yeah.
I remember Roger said something to me. He was like joking about his job, and he's like, when like my job's no longer thrilling to me. And I go, you think memes are thrilling to me? It's been 8 years of dick jokes, dude. You think I wake up every day just ready
Yeah.
to make puns about the shaft? No. So and like like we were saying, I always loved making videos and stuff, and I knew I wanted to get into more content creator, and that was like a whole thing because like I was anonymous up until 2022. So I had to like go through that, which obviously we were talking about getting changes with your audience. And the whole time, the reason it took me so long to do that was because I was so afraid of what my audience was going to do. And,
Mhm.
with Instagram, it's numbers. And I was at 1.2 million followers. And I finally got to a point where I was like, first of all, followers don't mean shit because you can have 1,000 followers and you could get 5 million views on something. So it's the views, it's the reach. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
and like my videos are performing well, but yeah, I'm losing a lot of followers, but I'm gaining new ones. And I'm gaining ones that like want to go along on this new journey, I guess. with me. And I feel like with your content too, it's going to be, you're going to, which not even you're going to, but you're hitting people that are like, this is inspiring as hell. Like, and it
Yeah,
is. And I think there's a lot of things with like the generations before us and not maybe having the opportunities to try new things or not getting out of their comfort zones and realizing how like beneficial and necessary it is as to like grow as an individual. And
exactly.
you learn so much about yourself too. But something I wanted to ask you was when you took that break and it was a really hard decision to take that break from content creating, do you think that you would have landed on these challenges like that? It's almost like that break you took,
Yeah.
like it's like, I don't know, I think of things like this, like, you had maybe like two paths to take, and it was
Yes.
like it's like a trust yourself situation.
Yeah. Those moments in life, like I just got chills thinking about it. Like the moments in life where you can literally see two roads in front of you
Yeah,
are like, I don't even know what they are. I don't know what I'm trying to say they are, but those moments are just like, wow. Like,
what Robert Frost was trying to say.
yeah, yeah, those moments are huge. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of those moments. And I think that I probably could have kept beating my head against the wall and doing that same content, but without that break and that space to kind of come back to who I am and assess like what do I want to do with my life and just kind of be in flow and let my curiosity drive me again. That's
Hmm.
what really did it for me
Hmm.
in terms of bringing me back to those ideas I was excited about. I remember uh running on a treadmill one day and I had the dance challenge video idea in my head and I
Hmm.
started looking it up on YouTube to see if anyone had done it. And
Hmm.
like of course people have done things
Yeah.
similar because everyone's always done something similar. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but I was actually excited about it because I'm like, someone did this. That means there's an audience for it. That means there's
Yeah.
value in pursuing it. And I just remember feeling like so excited about it. And I was like, I haven't felt this excited about something, about an idea in so long.
That's awesome. And it's really cool too. I was just thinking about back when I was in college and for my senior year, I went to FIT in New York City and it was a 1 year associate program.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I got my bachelor's like the year before.
What did
And
you major in again?
uh it's fashion design. Remember, I was telling you yesterday that
Is that weird title?
at
Yeah.
Oneonta they called it what was it? Human ecology with like focus and like textile and something. It was but
Right, because I told you my graphic design minor was not called graphic design. We
yeah.
couldn't call that. It was visual communication design.
Yeah, like what just yeah, in the yeah, I mean I could get into that. But actually I also have a minor in event planning. So
Oh,
I
okay.
know. I was like cooking classes in college. Absolutely. Back in the day, I was like, oh, free food. And now I'm like, oh, student loans. But that was, oh, so anyway, when I was at FIT, it was a program where like it was connected to like different New York State schools. So like if you went to like Oneonta or Buff State or something, you kind of had not like a leg up, but like they would help you more. But also like anyone could do this program. And the coolest thing to me was that there were people in like their 30s, 40s, and 50s also taking this course, like this
Mhm.
1 year associate program, because they just like I've always wanted to get into fashion design or see what this is, or even fashion merchandising. And I remember just thinking that back then, like, that's so cool. Like, one of the girls was like a retired diplomat from like Australia or New Zealand. And she was just like, she's like, I want to do this. And I was like, that is so cool. Like, there's something about seeing people who are older than you, like, just you get so inspired when they do something not even different. Like maybe they loved what they were doing before, but they just wanted,
Yeah,
a different, like you're allowed to do
change.
that.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. I saw, I don't know if it was a quote or I heard it on a podcast. Somewhere my brain absorbed this
Yeah.
information. But it was like, I wish it said something along the lines of I wish there were achievement awards for like people starting a business in their 50s or their
Yeah.
60s and like how inspiring that is versus like the Forbes 30 under 30, 40 under 40, like
Yeah.
these things early in life. Why don't we appreciate or have any appreciation for or as much appreciation for that
And
exact thing.
yeah, I mean, I don't think Vera Wang does, and this is just off the top of my head. I don't think Vera Wang like got into design until she was like in her 40s. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
Yeah, yeah, there's
And like
I've heard so many
so
of those stories. I
iconic.
think another one of them is, oh no, now I'm blanking. KFC. I don't know. Don't
Martha
quote.
Stewart too. I think she didn't
There's,
start her company until she was older. But
yeah.
I remember when I was like I wanted to do the event planning minor. And I remember I was a sophomore in college and I texted my dad. I said, "Hey, our school has this new program put out. Do you think it's too late?" And he literally texted me back and he was like, "It's never too late to do what you want to do." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
it's so
really?
true."
No, it's so true. It's never too late. Like you have so much time. I feel like the schooling system and the pressure to decide what you want to do with your life and like the pressure that it feels like you have to do that thing for the rest of your life
So scary.
at 18, 20, 21. Like that's just so unrealistic. You're not supposed to
Yeah.
know. You
No.
don't know what's going to happen in your life. You don't know what opportunities, you don't know what tragedies are going to happen. Like you
Yeah.
don't know anything.
You don't know who you're gonna meet.
It's all a hypothesis. You're not supposed to
So
know.
true. It's all a
Everything's
guessing
a
game.
hypothesis. Like,
And with that too, I mean, we were talking about even just being multi-passionate. Do you have anything to like talk about that more? I know that's a huge thing for
oh,
you.
yeah. So there's a lot of things I could say about that. So, I mean, maybe like what it's like to be multi-passionate or what it
Yeah,
means.
no, definitely. Because I feel like some people like, I mean, not that like you should be, but some people aren't, and they're just well, like just stick to one thing. And it's like me, I can't. Like I need to create, but I need to make people laugh. Like I need it both to survive. Like I need food and
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. So I mean, what I observe is it's more of like a way of thinking than it is anything because everyone's multi-passionate, whether they realize it or not. I believe that
Mhm,
because if you look at someone like, I don't know, I'll take this business conference I went to, for example.
mhm.
The guy running the conference, say he's one of those people that doesn't believe in being multi-passionate, thinks you should do one thing. Whether he sees it or not, he just spoke on a stage. That's a performance.
Yeah.
Manages people. That is, a skill of managing people.
Mhm.
If you have an understanding of marketing, that's something else. It's like there's all these little elements within a one thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah. And it's almost like honestly, give yourself more credit, dude. Like you deserve it,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
Like
right.
you're
Exactly.
doing
No.
all the things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that we compartmentalize our skills and our talents. And if you let them connect
Mhm.
and coexist and intermingle, like exactly what you're doing, like you're integrating your comedy with your fashion and all these things, they can all go together.
I just made a sewing meme page.
Oh yeah, you told me that. What was it called? So what or
So many laughs,
so many laughs.
SEW,
So
many
many laughs.
laughs. So
That's
I
great.
did. And I wanted
I
to
love
do
a good
that for a
pun.
while. And I was like, this is stupid. And I'm like, a lot of the things I do are stupid. And
Why
that's how
not
I
try
got
it though?
exactly. That's how I got a million followers was being stupid. So
Exactly. So that's the thing is like we forget, even if you did go through a period where you let yourself be stupid,
yeah.
explore, air quotes, if anyone's listening, to be stupid. That's where the true creativity and breakthroughs happen. Like when I came up with the Hallee Starbucks video idea, that
Yeah.
was so random. Like I was talking to my friend Courtney in a car and I was like, no one can spell my name right. I've been thinking it'd be funny if I did a video where I try to see if someone can guess how to spell it or something like that, just to show how often it happens. And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't you do it at Starbucks? And I was like, yep. And I was just like, yeah, it's just another video. I didn't think it would
A
be
series.
at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a lot of the times the biggest ideas come unexpectedly.
Oh,
Yeah.
100% and almost naturally. It's
Mhm.
I actually was thinking today when I was like mapping out today's episode, I was like, I should do a parody to Hallie's because like my name's Emily.
You should,
Hey
but
guys,
you
no one's
probably
ever gonna know how to spell my name. And then they give it to me like, ah, fuck.
wait, you should. Or we could do a collab. We could do a skit.
No, yeah, honestly, no one's ever gonna spell it right. Oh my God, that is. What do you think your favorite challenges that you've done so far?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think the most like interesting and new one I did was jujitsu because I've never done anything like that.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I
Couldn't
mean,
touch other people. That's off the table for me.
you that was really an interesting part of it. You had to get so comfortable and used to like that platonic touch of being
Yeah,
so up, like, and it's mostly men.
yeah.
You're like laying under their junk and you're like looking up, like, all right, now I'm about to kick up there to try to knock their leg down and try to not hit them there. And
It's a lot of thinking.
yeah, so it's weird because I remember around that time I started feeling like more comfortable around people because
That's
like
cool.
you got so up close up in personal
Yeah,
with strangers
yeah,
on a regular basis and it wasn't weird because it's just like the nature of jujitsu. It's like, oh, hey,
yeah.
random guy, I'm gonna straddle you now.
Sounds like me when I was in my early 20s. Brought to you by vodka.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, right. We just stop right there. No, that is so cool though. And like I could imagine that too. Cause I feel like even with comedy, like I was saying yesterday to Hallie, like sometimes I forget like certain things I just talk about around strangers, like people don't talk about. Like I'll meet new people and I'll be like, God, I gotta take my mood stabilizers today. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with her? And I'm like, well, clearly I'm on mood stabilizers. But you get like just little you don't realize what's kind of causing those I don't even I think they're good things kind of like being able to let loose more like be more yourself
Yes.
honestly. That's
Yes.
really cool.
Humor has been huge
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I
speaking of humor, I was
humor.
talking to our friend Nay last night and we said we have to get you up on stage for an open mic night sometime.
So yeah, this is well, you were the one that told me that yesterday also. So
Yeah, Nay's down.
it seems like I have to do stand-up comedy now.
I think you should. And it's such, and even like other comics from different places where I've talked, like different states I've talked to, and they're just like, Tampa has a really like cool, supportive,
Yeah.
um, like you could literally go up there with like no material and just like talk to
Mhm.
people and do crowd work, and everyone would be so
Yeah.
supportive. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's funny. These even doing the comfort zone challenge so many times, it's like I forget that, I have to choose if I'm going to do another one, it has to
Yeah.
be something I'm actually uncomfortable doing.
We could go
AKA
to
stand up.
Wesley Chapel has a nudist community. We can go there. That could be your
A
challenge.
nudist. That would definitely be uncomfortable.
Like in Sims where they like blur out the genitals. It's just you walking around like that.
Have a camera. I don't think they would welcome a camera.
No, I don't think so either.
Hey, do you mind if we film everyone?
We can do a parody.
Yeah. All right, my
No.
next challenge is the nudist community.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's like one day you're just gonna get to all these things and it's gonna be like I've just gotten out of all my comfort zones. I guess I just have to streak.
I have no boundaries anymure, guys.
No, no boundaries. She's like running through funerals. I don't know. She's doing shit. There's your
I
winning
don't care
YouTube
about
series.
anything anymore.
But for people who want to get out of their comfort zone, maybe even just by doing like I don't know, like how you even your first one, which was public speaking, like what advice would you give someone?
So the biggest thing that people don't realize, and I want this message to be clear too when I do the comfort zone challenges, that even though it's something that maybe sometimes seems bigger and people are like, oh, I could never do that. I could never go do stand up. I could never
Yeah.
sing. Everybody's comfort zone looks different. Like
Oh
you don't
yeah.
have to do that to
No.
be getting out of your comfort zone. It can look as simple as like, here's something outside of my comfort zone that's really small. Like I am not one to flirt with a guy first.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be way out of my comfort zone. If for some reason I wanted to do that, that could be a comfort zone challenge for me.
Yeah.
So
There's
like
your
it could
next
be some
series. I'll give you a hidden
yeah.
camera. I'll put a thing in your ear and I'll tell you what to say. You'll immediately take it out. Be like, we're done. We're done here.
Canceled. The end. Done. I'm out. Yeah,
Hey,
that
sailor.
would be but yeah, that would be crazy. But my point being, like, you don't have to do some grandiose thing to be getting outside of your comfort zone. If you're trying to make friends and you're shy, it could just be setting a goal to talk to one new person every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that thing makes you uncomfortable, then you are outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It could be, little relational things. Like if you're in a relationship and you're not getting along with that person, try and do something every day to like fix the relationship that like
Mhm.
feels uncomfortable versus just going
Yeah.
through the motions. Like it can be something little. You just have to look at what's in front of you in your life and figure out how you can apply it, because it is like such a life-changing thing and feeling to be able to overcome something like that.
Absolutely. I know. And it's crazy what you're saying too, because like I love going on stage and like doing stand up and stuff like that. But like you will not catch me like at a Target on a Saturday. Like that would be getting out of my comfort zone.
Target on a
too,
Saturday?
too many people.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot.
See, exactly. That's the thing. And I've heard, that not that exact example, but like a lot of performers are actually shy.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if I would say I'm shy,
Maybe not
but I
shy,
think
but it's like
I
social
definitely I'm
situations.
more like socially like anxious and awkward. It's
Yeah.
actually it's funny. I'm like writing a bit about it. Because I was telling you I have this sweatshirt that says like antisocial wives club.
Yes.
It's supposed to serve two purposes. It's supposed to be like, I am married, don't talk to me. And like it doesn't work in either sense. And I'm like, I need to return this. But
That's funny.
yeah. So no, it is. It's those like the little things. And then I feel like once you do something like that, it makes almost the next one not even seem easier, especially like because it's hard, but
Yeah.
almost seem like obviously, well, I can do it. I remember when I stopped drinking and drinking alcohol, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna have fun. Like I'm still gonna go to bars, like I'm still gonna go to clubs. And
Hmm.
I remember, have you ever been to the castle in Ybor?
I've not.
Okay, it's fun. Contrary to what everyone says, it's so fun because
It's a bar?
it's like a club. It's like a
A
goth
club.
club.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's like goth techno. It's or like
Wait, I think I've heard of
men.
it. I think I heard of it when I was visiting St. Pete before I lived here, and someone was like, "Yo, we're going to this like crazy club," and I was like,
It's fun. And it's one of those places where like if you go in like judging people, like you're not gonna have a good time because like the everyone who's the regulars there, like they don't give a fuck. Like they're so nice. But anyway, one of the first times I was there, I was sober and they formed like the dance circles. And I was just like, I gave my friend my phone and I said, record this. And I just went in there to like this heavy metal, like goth music. And I'm like doing disco moves and like going like this, like peace signs. And everyone's like screaming and stuff. And it was like
"Yeah,
so fulfilling. I was like, that was so fun.
that's
And
hilarious."
I had so much fun with that. So like I literally made since like then on almost and probably a little bit before, like I've always made a point like I love just like dancing and being goofy. And I'm like, no one's gonna take
Yes.
that from me. Like I make a point like to go to music festivals and stuff because I feel like almost it like resets my brain creatively because
Mhm.
of like music, not drugs. And
Dancing is the release of it
oh
too.
my gosh, yeah. So, and like even that, like even at music festivals and stuff, some people like they don't dance, and I'm like, it's freaking music, just move your body.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed too, um, and this is to say like sometimes we were talking about just doing a little thing outside of your comfort zone, but
Mhm,
sometimes it can pay off to do a big thing outside of your comfort zone because once you do that, I'll use the speaking for example. When I did the public speaking competition,
mhm.
after I did that, every time I would get shy to raise my hand in class and ask a question or to like volunteer to like give a presentation in class
Yeah.
or go up and approach someone new and say hi that I'd never met. The second I would feel nervous, I would be like, I did a public speaking competition. I can do
Yeah.
this. So it like gives you a comparison to push past. And then the reason I brought this the dancing made me think of it is this past weekend, I went to a business conference, which
Mhm.
is business, you're very serious.
Yeah.
And one night there was a cocktail party on the roof. And they were playing Latin music and salsa dancing.
Ooh,
I freaking love salsa dancing. I was walking around, I'm like, who knows how to salsa dance? And I
that's
was
so
like finding
fun,
all the people and I was dancing and like people thought I was hammered. I'm like, I didn't even drink. I'm
right?
completely sober. But me 5 years ago would have never done that. But it was so
Yeah,
freeing. And I'm like, I don't even have to get drunk and I can just dance because I want to.
it's so fun.
Such a
I love
cool like
hearing that. That's so great.
yeah, but it took work. Like I didn't
Yeah,
naturally do that. So that's where I think pushing your comfort zone can be freeing.
yeah. I always joke that it's not even a joke. I'm like, we are literally like specks of dust on this floating rock through space. Like, just have fun.
It makes people feel
Just
more
have fun.
comfortable to think of it as a joke, but it's honestly true.
It's honestly true. So now
Sorry.
this is a science podcast. I have one more question for you, Hallie. It's been great talking to you, by the way, as always.
This is went
What
by fast.
I know. What is something that you stopped faking that has made your life better?
Mm, this is a really good question. So I think there's a few different ways I could go with this, but the biggest thing that I stopped faking would be, I don't know how to phrase this, but I was a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a perfectionist and a people pleaser. And when I stopped doing that, like I feel like my life changed because, and it's taken practice, and these comfort zone challenges and experiences have helped to overcome those two things about myself. But people pleasing and perfectionism, we don't realize we're doing them, but they're
Mm-hmm.
faking. Like they're
Yeah.
two ways of faking that feel socially acceptable and almost like good in
Yeah.
a way. Like they're seen as like good because you know, if I'm likable, everyone likes me. Like, yay, good job.
But do
Happy.
you like yourself? Yeah.
Exactly. Like you
Yeah.
have to like yourself and you have to be willing to be disagreed with, which
Mhm.
is scary out of your comfort zone, out of my
Yeah.
comfort zone. And it's still something I have to work through because so I was always a perfectionist. I was always a people pleaser. So you got to get okay with being disliked
Yeah.
and
I feel,
actually like cherish it. Like now I'm starting to get to a point where I see so much value in actually being disliked.
yeah. In not even in like a controversial way or anything, but also I just think about like something as simple as colors. And I'm like, oh, I really like the color pink. Oh, you know that shade of orange? I don't really like it. So like obviously not everyone's gonna like you. I've said this quote on the podcast a few times, but you could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and you're gonna find someone who doesn't like peaches.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
I think I always wish that I like understood that when I was like younger and dating and stuff too.
Me too.
Because yeah, I feel like it's very easy to like self-reflect and be like, okay, what am I doing wrong with this? And it's like you don't have to be everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. Some people smoke crack.
Yeah.
You
Good
know?
point.
Good boy. Well, thank you so much, Hallie, for chatting with me
Yeah.
today. This is so great
Thanks
talking
for
to you.
having me.
What are all your social media handles so I can put them in the episode description in link form for everyone?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Hallee, HALLEE_Smith. And then I also have business accounts. Actually, I think I have a business account on TikTok and Instagram.
Mhm.
It's Hallee Media, HALLEE Media. And then yeah, I have two YouTube channels. The Hallee_Smith one's a long form, and then there's just Hallee Smith, and that one's my short form content. So I'm in a lot of places. I do a lot of things. So there
That's
you go.
okay. I also have to bring up too that my favorite way anyone has ever typed your name has been an autocorrect. And I think wasn't it like for business and someone typed in Hallie and it came up as
Hallelujah. No, it was on a contract. It was on a contract for my condo.
it said hallelujah.
Oh
So
my
I'll
God.
text her randomly. I'm like, hey, hallelujah.
I I don't know. I don't get it, but that
It
was the
does
best
pop
bit
up.
yet.
It does pop up.
Does it?
It does. Cause like, especially when like I first met you, because like I've never typed your name in my phone before, but apparently I've said hallelujah a few times. I don't know. I was raised Catholic. So like it would be like a suggestion.
Maybe, but yeah, this was like typed. It was on a contract. So I don't know. It's beyond me, but a good one. It's a
All
good
right.
bit.
Well, everyone, make sure you're following me and Hallelujah on social media. I'll put all the links in the description as always. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.